Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the DJ Roscoe Sports Show for this now wee hours of the morning on Saturday, September 24th, 2022, coming live from Palatial State here in Dallas, Pennsylvania. This week, if it's late Friday night after a high school football game, now Saturday morning, it must be Mammoth Sports Talk right here on the DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Very happy with you once again. Covered an exciting game at Nanacoke High School. Nanacoke Trojans, well, my wife probably won't be happy about it. Her alma mater is Lake Lehman Black Knights. Lake Lehman got a nice 22-20 win last week over Holy Redeemer in a thriller. This week, it was all Nanacoke. They only had to throw one pass the whole game. It was incomplete. They ran the ball for 355 yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, and that's without one of their star junior running backs who was out with an injury, and Nanacoke crushed them 32-0 over Lake Lehman. Nanacoke next week will host their homecoming game at home at Nanacoke High School against Pittston area Patriots, and Lake Lehman will host the Tunkhannock Tigers next week at 7 o'clock in Lake Lehman High School. So hopefully both teams will have a good rest of the way, a good season now, midway of the high school football season. It is flying right by. 5 weeks in, 10 games altogether, 10 weeks altogether in the regular season. So they're 5 games in, so they're halfway done before they head to the playoffs. So it seems like it just started. It flies by just like that. As we're ready, wrapping up a little frigid, chilly September weather. Now we're in fall. Bye-bye summer, welcome to fall. It felt a little cool out there, a little coolish. Hands were a little cold, but don't always have the best circulation with my hands. But it was a fun game. And congrats to Nanacoke and head coach Ron Bruza for their big win over Lake Lehman tonight. We have a lot of of course, NFL football picks to make. We'll rattle those off pretty soon. Tomorrow is going to be a big home game for Penn State versus Central Michigan. They'll have tougher opponents later in the year when they play the regular, real Michigan with Jim Harbaugh as the head coach and Ohio State later in the year. But right now, they're doing what they can. They crushed Auburn last week on the road, so they're 3-0, trying to make it 4-0, and they should be able to do that easily and beat Central Michigan at home. So I'm sure got some friends and family going to the game tomorrow at home in Happy Valley at Beaver Stadium. I'm sure Penn State will get a big win. Congrats to Marcus Freeman, the young Notre Dame head coach. Finally got that first win off his back after losing the bowl game, blowing a big lead, filling in for Brian Kelly, left in the middle of the night like that to go to LSU, be their head coach. Lost that game. Lost a tough one to Ohio State. That was understandable week 1. Then lost to the Marshall Thunder and Herd, which they shouldn't have lost at home too. They lost by 5 points. Well, they were about to get upset by the University of California. They came back. They won 24-17 at home in Notre Dame, on Notre Dame's field. And Monte Teo, the beloved Notre Dame captain, defensive star player. They had the documentary on Netflix that recently came out about the whole crazy catfishing situation from a decade ago. He rallied the good team, and they seemed to really, the crowd was very excited to see him back. So great to see Monte Teo and Notre Dame finally get a win. Congrats to Marcus Freeman with his first win. Hopefully many more to come. They can bounce back because they would have came after the young head coach if they keep losing week after week, especially against bad teams. So Notre Dame will hopefully continue to improve. Penn State should get to 4-0 tomorrow, crushing Central Michigan. Syracuse Orange, gotta say congrats to them. They are now 4-0. My buddy Dan Torre covers the team at the Dome in Syracuse. They're now 3-0 at home this year. And they got a big ACC conference win over the Virginia Cavaliers. It was a close game. They won 22-20. Congrats, Syracuse. They go from usually getting destroyed year after year and been pathetic for a while. And head coach Gino Babers has rallied the team behind a star running back Sean Tucker and just good overall play. And they are now 4-0 undefeated 4 weeks into the college football season. Congrats to them. Of course, Alabama and Georgia still doing what they do, dominating football. But I'm excited. College football is going to expand to a 12-team college football playoff very soon in the next few years. So you might get some underdog Cinderella stories like March Madness and college basketball. So college football, hopefully you enjoy that on Saturday. We got the NFL, do all our NFL predictions coming up in just a few moments. Basketball, hockey back before you know it as the preseason and training camps going to start for those sports. Can't wait for that. And of course, baseball. Aaron Judge is still on home run number 60. He's one away from tying Roger Maris from the American League home run record, and many would say the real home run record because of the quote-unquote alleged steroid use by Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa all in the National League. But still, the American League home run record of Roger Maris stands for 61 years and probably should be the real home run record, just like Hank Aaron's 755 is the real home run record. The other records there are tainted with alleged steroid use, poor and drugs, cheating the integrity of baseball, and the role models they are. And it's not a good role model to teach shortcuts for these kids. So at least put an asterisk behind the marks of the home runs that, of the home run records that really should be considered real. So Hank Aaron, to me, is the real home run king overall. Roger Maris, single season home run king overall in my mind, not Barry Bonds, 73, with all that crazy alleged steroid use. But Judge is still sitting on 60 home runs, but he still has a great chance to get it. He's still on pace to get the Triple Crown, leads in batting average, home runs, and RBI. He doesn't just hit for power, hits for average too. And before Miguel Cabrera, Miggy got the Triple Crown 10 years ago in 2012. It had been done since 1967 with Carl Yastrzemski with the Boston Red Sox. So Judge should get 61 pretty soon. Hopefully he'll get to 62 and set the record. Roger Maris's family, they consider this the true home run record, and if Judge can break it, they're honoring him at Yankee Stadium. So it's electric. He almost got it on Thursday night. Cam Randall Fox should be fired. He thought the ball was going to be hit to the moon. He just went up in the air. He just caught it right at the wall. He had another deep fly to left field earlier in Friday night's game, the whole Apple TV fiasco. But hey, he ended up not breaking the record on Apple TV, so people were annoyed if they couldn't get access to Apple TV on Friday night. He got a base hit in the game. Yankees came back and they won. They were up 4-1. Then Garrett Cole didn't like there was a close strike call. It was not called a strike 3 that would have ended the inning in the top half of the sixth inning. And then Alex Verdugo, their number 99 on the Boston Red Sox, crushed a 3-run homer. He got ejected, so did Aaron Boone. Cursed out the umpire. It was 4-4. But then Harrison Bader's doing a great job since he came back from his injuries, and makes sense why they traded Jordan Montgomery for Harrison Bader. Fast moving, really good defensive center fielder, hitting the ball well, and just seems like an old school solid player for the Yankees that's going to improve the team overall. He got on base with a pinch hit walk, got to third base, and then Jose Trevino, the talented all-star catcher of the Yankees, got a nice RBI single to win the game 5-4. Judge hits, stays on home run number 60, and Aaron, for one more night. Aaron did hit a home run in the game, but some people say the wrong Aaron. Aaron Hicks, his 100th career home run. He's been struggling all year. Hit a nice home run and an RBI single in the game. So congrats to Aaron Hicks on the milestone. And getting out of your slump a little bit and getting a nice big game. So it almost reminds me of Big Daddy, where they said, "We wasted the wrong surprise on you, Sonny." I'm a sailor and Big Daddy, but Aaron hit a home run. Just not the Aaron everyone came to see at the ballpark, the 50,000 fans. But it will happen. I believe Judge will get the home run record very soon, maybe as soon as Saturday. They play at 1 o'clock at home at Yankee Stadium against the Red Sox at 1. And Michael Kay and the usual broadcasters will be there on TV on Yes Network. Paul O'Neill and David Cohn, I think, will be doing the game as well. And then Sunday Night Baseball, and they'll have the Alex Rodriguez, Michael Kay alternate cast as well, and Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens will be guests on Sunday night. So hopefully he'll get that soon. But the Yankees win 5-4. The Red Sox already clinched the playoff spot for the 6th year in a row the other night, and now they are getting really close to match numbers, 4 games to clinch the division title over the Toronto Blue Jays and Tampa Bay Rays, who are battling for wild card spots. We'll probably get those, but the Yankees slump is over. They've won 5 in a row. They're 92-58, 34 games over 500. Still have to correct things late in games of bullpen. Who's your real closer? Clay Holmes struggling. The Yankees play much better baseball. The Mets got a big win, 9-2 over the Oakland Athletics. Chris Bassett, the former Oakland A pitcher, pitched great tonight. I think pitched 8 strong innings, only up 2 runs. And then Eduardo Escobar hit a grand slam, and Jeff McNeil got a 3-hit game. So Mets get a nice win. Their division lead they've already clinched the playoffs first time in 6 years. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Since 2016, the first time in the playoffs. They've already clinched at least a wild card spot, top wild card spot. They still have a 2.5 game lead in the NL East division title. It probably will come down to the very end of that last weekend of the season against the Atlanta Braves. Braves, though, struggle against the Phillies. The Phillies get a big win. They won 1-0 last night against the Braves. Then they win 9-1 tonight in the city of brotherly love in Philly. They destroyed the Braves. So the Braves now are 2.5 games behind the Mets for the division lead. The Phillies match number is 9 games over the Brewers, and even the Padres are slumping for the wild card spot. Phillies trying to make the playoffs for the first time in 11 years. Looks like that's a good chance to happen After they were struggling for a while, they bounced back in a big way against the Braves. Mets are doing well. Great chance to get 100 wins. Going to be in the playoffs. Yankees bounce back, doing well. Pirates lost 6-5 to the Cubbies. Go Cubs, go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are going to win today. But O'Neal Cruz is still very fun to watch for the Pirates, but the Pirates play lousy ball. So, yeah. Yankees, Mets, Phillies win. Pirates lose. Oh, and then the Dodgers still play great baseball. The Rail Riders, they won 4-1, getting closer to potentially making the playoffs this year. They're going to last 3 games at home for the home regular season schedule at PNC Field in Scranton. Montage Mountain is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week, September 26th, 27th, 28th. If they make the playoffs, we get more baseball in the Electric City. So hopefully that happens. So let's hope that happens. And last but not least, congrats. There was home run history made. It wasn't by Aaron Judge night, but Albert Pujols, his 22nd year in the big leagues. His rookie year was 2001. Hit in LA against the Dodgers, the team that picked him up last year after the Angels cut him. Not only did he hit 1 home run to get to 699 home runs, he was 2 away from 700. He had 2 home runs tonight and got his 699 and his historic 700th career home run. Only the 4th player ever hit 700 home runs. Of course, you got Barry Bonds, the alleged cheater, 762 homers, number 1. Hank Aaron, the true home run king, number 2, 755. Number 3, Babe Ruth with 714 home runs. And now, Albert Pujols, who recently passed Alex Rodriguez for 4th on the all-time home runs. He's 4th overall, 700 career home runs for the great Albert Pujols in his final season in the big leagues. Says he'll retire at the end of the year, get to go out possibly on top of playing great ball for the St. Louis Cardinals. Have a good chance to maybe make a deep run in the playoffs, maybe another World Series run. And after he only had like 5 home runs at the All-Star break, and kind of people thought, oh, they're just pitying him and Miguel Cabrera in the All-Star game because of the greatness they've done in the past. They even had him in the home run derby, did well there. It springboarded him because now he has 21 home runs this season. It went from 5 home runs to 21 home runs. And I think it's legit what he's doing. It's awesome. And it's great to see. For a while, like, it would be great if he got 700 home runs. It did look likely. He got there. He's 4th all time. And if it wasn't for some of the injuries he had with the Angels and the 2020 pandemic shortened 60-game season, he probably at least would be 3rd place overall with passing Babe Ruth, possibly passing Hank Aaron and Barry Bonds, who are, Bonds only has 62 home runs more than Pujols, so that's with the injuries of the shortened 2020 pandemic season. So congrats to Albert Pujols. Well deserved 700 career home runs. We're not worthy, as the Wayne brothers would say. So we talked baseball, we talked basketball, we talked hockey, college football. Go Penn State, go Notre Dame tomorrow. Congrats on Syracuse with big wins. Now, we're going to do week 3 of the NFL schedule. My predictions, and as the great late Heath Ledger said in The Dark Knight, the great Batman movie, 2008. And here we go. So, of course, Thursday Night Football started on Amazon Prime exclusively with Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit covered the game. Steelers lost a tough one. They're now 1-2. They could be easily 0-3. They're lucky they won that first game against the Bengals. All the craziness with the long snapper was hurt. But the Bengals, they could make chip shot field goals at extra points. But the Steelers won that first game of the season. They lose 17-14 against the Patriots on last Sunday at home in their home opener in Pittsburgh. Tough game, fumbled punt that gave the Patriots a great field position that led to a touchdown. Mr. Trubisky, that offense at Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, is not doing anything. It's not old Ben Roethlisberger's fault. Everyone's like, oh, Ben's moving slow and not the same player as he used to be. The offense looks terrible. They lose 29-17 on the road against the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are now 2-1. The Browns bounce back in a big way. After my Jets, we're now 30-17 with a minute and a half to go, 90 seconds to go. And the Jets came back and won. And they got the onside kick after they scored a touchdown and won 31-30. So Cleveland had a devastating loss at home. They bounced back in a big way with their, Jacoby Brissett, their backup starting games, while Deshaun Watson's out with his suspension. Won't be back till at least the first week of December. So Cleveland gets a big bounce back win. Pittsburgh struggling. They got about 10 days to think it over. The next game they'll go to, my wife and I will be at the game. My New York Jets at her Steelers. It's going to be a must-win for both of these, especially for her Steelers, because if they lose to my stinky Jets, they'd lose 3 in a row, be 1-3. And Mike Tomlin, who's never had a losing season in his career, very well could be in trouble and might be having that first losing season of his career. Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, probably should be fired. His plans are not working. He has all these great offensive weapons. He's throwing little 5-yard passes. They don't trust Mitchell Trubisky. He's a game manager, and they won't let him throw the ball downfield. Mitchell Trubisky, I think, needs to go. He needs to sit on the bench and let Kenny Pickett, the University of Pittsburgh local kid product, give him a chance to play. He can run around, throw the ball, and he'll make some rookie mistakes. Let him throw the ball downfield. You have George Pickens, the rookie receiver, who made a great one-handed catch like Odell Beckham Jr. on Thursday Night Football. You have Deontay Johnson, Vermouth, Claypool, Najee Harris. Make it work. The Steelers were up for a little while, 14-13, but in the fourth quarter, they kicked the field goal, made it 16-14, then a touchdown. Made it 23-14. They kicked the field goal 23-17 after Boswell kicked the field goal. And then it looks a little more upset it was because then they tried to do my wife's favorite play with their flea flicker. They laddered it back and forth and it went into the end zone. So the Browns won 29-17. Nice bounce back win for the Browns. Bad loss for the Steelers. Now, Sunday Night Football. Not Sunday Football. Sunday football game. Can't wait. This Sunday, September 25th. There's 9 1 o'clock games. Let's get into it. 1 o'clock, Saints and Panthers on Fox. The Saints are 1-1. They had a nice comeback win against the Falcons week 1 last week. Tom Brady exercised his demons, struggling against the Saints defense in the past. It was ugly for a while. It was casual. He threw one of the tablets again. It was frustrated, but in the end, the Buccaneers prevailed over the Saints. So the Saints get a disappointing loss, 1-1. James Winston struggled. They play at the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield. The Panthers are struggling. They're 0-2. They lost close games to the Browns and Giants. I'm going to still go with the Saints here. On the road, I know the Panthers are like, oh, they're due. They can't go 0-3. Baker Mayfield will do a decent job, but I think he doesn't have much to work with. I think Carolina is mediocre at best. The Saints, pretty strong defense, solid offense. As long as James Winston doesn't make too many mistakes, I think the Saints bounce back. And they beat their division rival 23-16 on the road in Carolina, 1 o'clock on Fox. And then 1 o'clock on CBS. The Texans, who are 0-1-1, they had that over a week tie with the stinky Colts, who were playing terrible, and then a close, ugly game against Russell Wilson, the Broncos. Broncos won that home opener last week against the Texans. Texans played the Bears in Chicago with Justin Fields and company, who played well in the rain and beat the 49ers in week 1, but Trey Lance was the quarterback before he got hurt. Hopefully he'll make a speedy recovery for the 49ers. And then the Bears last week, though, on Sunday Football, predictably got destroyed by Aaron Rodgers, who owns the Chicago Bears. He destroys them almost every game. The Bears are 1-1, but I'm going to go with the Bears to improve to 2-1 at home and beat the Houston Texans, who are mediocre at best. Decent defense, not strong defense, but Lovie Smith is head coach, but the offense is terrible. They don't have a legit quarterback now that Deshaun Watson's gone. For the second year in a row, I'm going to say the Bears. They beat the Texans in kind of an ugly game. I'll go with 20-6. They win by 2 touchdowns. So they only give some field goals to the Texans. And that's at 1 o'clock on CBS. 1 o'clock also on CBS, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, high-flying offense, is 2-0 after beating the Cardinals and the Chargers. The first 2 weeks of the season, they play at the Colts, who, unless they bounce back in a big way, bigly, it's not going to happen. Frank Reich's Colts team is terrible. It's not all Carson Wentz's fault after they blamed why they choked and lost last 2 games of the year and failed to make the playoffs. Colts, Matt Ryan looks terrible out there. The offense looks terrible. The Russian attack, the defense that looked so good last year looks terrible. They're 0-1-1. They tied with the Texans. They got destroyed last week by Dan's Jacksonville Jaguars. My buddy Dan Toro covered Syracuse tonight. He covered them in Jacksonville, the Jaguars and Colts for the Jaguars home opener. Jaguars won 24-0 over the Colts. They got embarrassed, the Colts. And they got embarrassed last year with the Jaguars. Last week of the season, Jacksonville cost them a chance to make the playoffs. With that big loss, Steelers got it instead of in big bands last year. I don't see an upset here. I think Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to destroy the Colts. I'm going to go with a big amount of points. I'm going to go with 38-13. They destroy them by 25 points over the Colts. Also, 1 o'clock on CBS. My mother-in-law, Nana. The kids affectionately call her Nana. I think Fran's going to be very excited about the Buffalo Bills 2-0. They had 2 blowout wins. Their last 20 wins have all been by blowouts. Close games, they said, I've struggled with. They have to get it down to the playoffs against the Chiefs, which they've lost the last 2 years, and some heartbreakers against Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. But the Buffalo Bills, week 1, destroyed the defending champion LA Rams in the season kickoff. And then last week, they got Monday Night Football, the Monday Night Football doubleheader. They destroyed the Tennessee Titans. It was a blowout from the beginning, from the jump. Bills now 2-0 at the Miami Dolphins, who are 2-0, who had a nice win against Belichick's Patriots week 1. Looked like they were going to lose to the Ravens. Go to the fourth quarter, they're up by 3 touchdowns. And they bounce back and come back against Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, erase the 3-touchdown deficit, and then score the winning touchdown at the end. Tua ended up throwing 6 touchdowns, tied a franchise record with Dan Marino and Bob Greasy with 6 touchdowns in one game. The Dolphins' offense is explosive with Tyreek Hill and Waddle at wide receiver. So the Dolphins get a nice comeback win over the Ravens last week. This one should be an interesting one. Whoever wins this will be first place in the AFC East. 2-0 undefeated Bills versus undefeated Dolphins on CBS 1 o'clock. I'm still going to go with Nana Fran's Bills. I'm going to say the Bills win this one. High score game here. I'm going to go with, won't be a 20-point win though. I'm going to go with 34-27. They win by a touchdown over the Dolphins on the road in Miami. Should be a fun one though. And then the Lions at the Vikings, 1 o'clock on Fox. Both teams are 1-1. Lions lost close with the Eagles week 1. And then they had a nice win over Washington last week. Vikings, 1 week, 1 crushing Rodgers. The Packers got destroyed by the Eagles on Monday Night Football. I'm going to go with the Vikings bounce back into the Lions to score a lot of points with Jared Goff and Dan Campbell. Getting them to run through a brick wall, a great motivator. Was on Hard Knocks this year, but I'm going to go with the Vikings winning this. Kirk Cousins bounce back after a bad loss. I'll go with 27-23. Win by 4 points. 1 o'clock on Fox. Vikings win. Ravens at the Patriots on Fox. I think Lamar Jackson Ravens are going to bounce back, not blow a 3-touchdown lead in the fourth quarter. Patriots offense can't do much with Mac Jones mediocre. Belichick. The Patriots got a nice win over the Steelers last week on the road, but they have to win ugly, keep the games low score. I think the Ravens and Lamar Jackson put up some points. Of course, they have the greatest kicker in football, Justin Tucker, so accurate. I'm going to go with the Ravens to win. I'll go with 24-13. They win by 11 on the road against the Patriots in Foxborough. Then Bengals at the Jets. My Jets had the great comeback win, but I can't see Joe Burrow and the Bengals go 0-3. They were just listenable last year. Lose to the Cowboys with Cooper Rush, not even Dak Prescott correct against a backup. I think Joe Burrow, the Bengals offense is going to wake up. The defense is going to do a decent job. And I think the offensive line just needs to protect Joe Burrow so he's not running for his life. My Jets, it was a great comeback win against the Browns, but it was also probably a fluke. Joe Flacco had a big game, but I think in the end he'll do okay. But I think the Bengals win this game. I'm going to go with 26. I'll go with 26-17. They win by 9 against my Jets on CBS. But hey, I keep picking against my Jets. They'll keep winning like they did last week. Raiders 0-2 at the Titans. They blew a big lead. At one point, we're up by 20. We're leading late. They blew a big game at home against the Arizona Cardinals after losing to the Chargers in week 1. Now they go on the road to play the Titans, who got crushed by the Bills, and then lost a tough one to the Giants in week 1 on that Saquon Barkley 2-point conversion. They're 0-2, the Titans. Raiders 0-2. Bengals defeated. I'm going to go with the Raiders here. I think Ryan Tannehill and the Titans are playing like garbage. Derrick Henry's a great running back. Vrabel, the defense is strong usually, but I'm going to say the Raiders with Devontae Adams and Derek Carr will do enough here. And with this game, I'm going to go with 27-20. They win by a touchdown on the road against the Titans. 1 o'clock on Fox. The last 1 o'clock games, the 2-0 Eagles at Washington, 1-1. The Commanders. Carson Wentz, his first game against his former team, the Eagles. Jalen Hurts playing great with the Eagles. They looked amazing on Monday Night Football, crushing the Vikings 24-7. I'm going to say the Eagles go on the road, beat Washington. Be careful because Carson Wentz is a solid quarterback when he's healthy, not making too many mistakes and turnovers, and he'll want revenge against his Eagles. But 1 o'clock on Fox, I'm going to go with the Eagles. They're going to beat Washington. Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFC. I'm going to say the Eagles are going to win this game 24-10. They win by 2 touchdowns over Washington. And then I'm going to go with 4 o'clock games, 4 o'clock games, 4:05 on CBS. The Jaguars 1-1, got a nice win, crushing the Colts last week at the LA Chargers. Justin Herbert coming off that tough loss to the Chiefs in week 2 after winning week 1 against the Raiders. I'll go with Justin Herbert and the Chargers. Put up some big points in a high-scoring show against Trevor Lawrence and the improved Jaguars. I'm going to say Chargers are going to win this one 31-27 over the Jaguars at home in LA. LA Rams 1-1 had a nice bounce back win, crushing the stinky Atlanta Falcons, which is not saying much. The Falcons are his team to beat after losing, getting crushed by the Bills in week 1. Rams 1-1 at the Cardinals 1-1. Kyler Murray, the Cardinals made a great comeback win over the Raiders, so they didn't go to 0-2 after they lose to the Chiefs in week 1. I'm going to go with the Rams beating the Cardinals. I'll go with the 34 I'll go with 34-24. They win by 10 points on the road to the Cardinals, 425 on Fox. Sean McVay, that offense is too much to handle for the Cardinals. Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford and company. Falcons 0-2 stick at 1-1 Seahawks, 425 on Fox. I'll go with the Seahawks to win this game. Jamal Adams out for the season. The defense still pretty strong even without Jamal Adams. Pete Carroll will get the team ready to play. Geno Smith will do enough. They lost to the 49ers last week, but they won, of course, week 1 against Russell Wilson, his return to Seattle. I'm going to say the Seahawks are going to beat up on the Falcons. I'll say, it will be an ugly game because they don't have much offense either. The Seahawks are going to win. I'll go with 16-6 over the Falcons by 10 points, 425 Fox. And then possibly the game of the game of the day, the 1-1 Packers losing the Vikings week 1 got crushed the Bears last week on Sunday Night Football. Aaron Rodgers, future Hall of Fame, great Super Bowl champion against the ultimate Super Bowl champion, Tom Brady, the Buccaneers at 45 years old. I'm about to say 25. Sometimes he plays like he's still only 25. 2-0 Buccaneers coming off a nice win over the Saints and the Cowboys week 1, 425 on Fox. I'm gonna go with the Bucks here. I'm gonna say the Bucks, even with all their injuries. Tom Brady will find a way to win this game. Somewhat of a shootout. It's going to be crazy. It'll be fun to see. It could be the last time we see Brady versus Aaron Rodgers again, unless they play each other in the playoffs. I'm going to say the Bucks beat the Packers. I'm going to go with 27-24. They win on a last-second field goal. Bucks over the Packers in a Brady-Rodgers showdown one last time. Should be a great one. Then Sunday Night Football on NBC, 8:20 on NBC and Peacock. The 49ers 1-1. In many ways, it might be for the best for their team winning-wise this year. Jimmy Garoppolo is now the quarterback after they wanted Trey Lance to be correct. They struggled in the rain against the Bears. Trey Lance had a nasty ankle injury, broke his ankle against the Seahawks last week. Alpha season hopefully makes the speed recovery, gets a chance to show he can be more accurate and be the quarterback in the future, maybe as soon as next year. But now Jimmy Garoppolo is back to his 49ers team. They're set with all their veteran stars. And then the Broncos, their offense has been struggling with Russell Wilson company and their rookie head coach Nathaniel Hackett. Both teams are 1-1, 8:20 on NBC. I'm going to say the Broncos win here. I say the Broncos at home. Russell Wilson, the Broncos will correct some of their mistakes offensively and do enough. Either Jimmy Garoppolo, the 49ers are dangerous, good offense, good defense. I'll say the Broncos win this game. I'll go with 23-20 on a late field goal in Mile High Air. Broncos with the 49ers. Then lastly, 49ers on ESPN, ABC, ESPN2, the Eli Manning, Peyton Manning telecast, Joe Buck, Troy Aikman on ESPN. 1-1 Cowboys at the New York Giants, surprisingly 2-0, 8:15, ESPN, ABC. I'm going to go with the Giants here, the G-Man. I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid with Brian Daboll for off scoring of the Bills. Like I said, they're going to stay undefeated, go 3-0. Cooper Rush of the Cowboys, he's played well last year against the Vikings, played well against the Bengals last week until they got conservative, almost lost the game, but then led them to a last-second 50-yard field goal. But I'm going to say the Cowboys, Ezekiel Elliott, let's see, he goes crazy. They can't stop the rush. The Giants defense. Giants will do enough to keep the game in check. Dale Jones will do okay, but Saquon Barkley hopefully has a big game, a rushing attack. Played really well his first 2 games this season. Big year for him, showing he's still the star of his first couple of years in the NFL and for Penn State, of course. I'm going to say the Giants at home. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a whiteout. They're going to wear all the white jerseys, white uniforms. I'm going to say the Giants win this game. It's going to be close. I'm going to go with 16-13. Giants win close. It's going to be ugly, but Giants going to win 16-13 over their division rivals, over the Cowboys. So my picks again are Saints over the Panthers, Bears over the Texans, Chiefs over the Colts, Bills over the Dolphins, Vikings over the Lions, Ravens over the Patriots, Bengals over my Sticky Jets, even though they won last week, Raiders over the Titans, Eagles over Washington, Chargers over Jaguars, Rams over Cardinals, Seahawks over Falcons, Bucks over the Packers, Brady Rodgers won last time, Broncos over 49ers, and Giants over the Cowboys on Monday Night Football. So if you think I'm crazy or you like it, don't like my picks, we'd love to hear from you. Be there, be square, take 2, call me the morning, it's not a tuba, and things of that nature. Hasta la vista, baby, as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say. So those are my NFL picks. Enjoy the college football. Go Penn State. Go Notre Dame. Enjoy the NFL Sunday. Enjoy the baseball. Aaron Judge hopefully will get the home run record this weekend at home for the Bronx faithful at Yankee Stadium cheering him on. Congrats to Albert Pujols with his great home run, 700th home run. Great career for him. Mets trying to win the division title for the Braves. Phillies trying to make the playoffs first time in 11 years. Steelers are a mess. They'll probably solve it against my Sticky Jets. So when we go next week for my 36th birthday, next Saturday, October 1st. Getting old. Lorelai, LJ doing well in school. It's all good stuff. And we have some family and friends. Good stuff coming up this weekend. Great football, good stuff. Rail Riders' last home stand. Hopefully they can make the playoffs. I'll quickly wrap up the show by singing a song to my amazing wife Abby. I love you with all my heart. Beautiful daughter Lorelai and beautiful son Eldred. I'm gonna sing from Great Zach Brown Band. This is our wedding song. You make loving you easy. You make loving you all. I wanted to. This is Blue Beer. It's not alcohol. It's late night. Something like every little smile and every single touch reminds me just how much it all makes loving you easy. I'll sing it again. Please don't. Easy. Love you, Abby. Love you, Lorelai. Love you, Eldred. You mean the world to me. Through my heart and soul, and I love you with all my heart, more than you'll ever know. So that's the show. I'm glad basically all the fall TV shows are back. The streaming sites, the movies. Cobra Kai's still doing great. Avatar's back in movie theaters. They re-release it. The new one will come out the next in December for Christmas. Bros looks like a funny comedy coming out in movie theaters next Friday, and just a lot of cool stuff. Movies, sports. Sports, it's all good right here at DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your sports and entertainment talk right here at DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Adam Levine, crazy scandals this week, all weird stuff, but it's all good. And keep locked, DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here. Enjoy your pumpkin spice. Enjoy that it's fall. Great season. Leaves are changing. Sports, football, it's all good. My birthday's coming up. Coming old, it's all good, and we'd have it anyway. Keep it locked, DJ Roscoe Sports Show each and every week for our football picks and so much more. Baseball, get ready for the playoffs. Basketball, hockey coming back. It'll be a fun week, and we'll see you next week on DJ Roscoe Sports Show. Your home for all your favorite sports and entertainment talk right here. Have a good night, everyone, and bye bye.